Wednesday, January 8th, and a day after the firing of Antonio Pierce. And just wanted to come out here because I just had I was reflecting on certain shit yesterday. I went live and I talked about my thoughts regarding Antonio Pierce firing and, what's to come with the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers, man, the Lakers, the Raiders, what's to come with the Raiders in the future. Um, but wanted to talk about our defensive coach. Now, those decisions that they make when they have to let go of these coaches, the team is very rare when you have a team who starts out with new coaches and the team just starts playing really good and they're contenders. They're always like a rebuild phase because the players need to get adapted to their playbook. The players need to get adapted to the way they coach, stuff like that. But regarding Patrick Graham, I believe he was with the Raiders for 3 seasons now. And why do you think it might be 4 seasons? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But why do you think our defense was one of the top defense in the NFL? I mean, for a very long time we were like 28, top 28. No, we overcome that. Our defense was, I mean, for some we could say our defense was okay, and some could say our defense was above okay, you know. But what I'm trying to really get to is that our defense was good, and the players were were comfortable with Patrick's scheme. Um, they have chemistry together because they've been with his coaching, and every time other players came into the team, but they came in that role with Patrick Graham, where all the players knew what's up. It was very easy to get them adapted to the scheme and the type of defense that they want to run because they've been together for a minute, you know. And now, what's going to happen now? You're going to get if he's going to leave the Raiders. I mean, here we go again with another rebuild of the defense, new defensive coach. Like, what do you think? What do you think our offense is always like? There's never like they're not consistent, our offense, all the time. Because like remember there was one time where like we couldn't even score 20 points. Like we couldn't even the offensive coach, they changed offensive coach. We finished the season um with AP last year, winning those 5 games or 6, whatever it was, um, with an offensive coach who was there with the team. And once the season was over, and then they hired to be the head coach, Antonio Pierce, they bring in another head coach. They bring up Pendejo, who um, who didn't know really what the fuck was going on, and the players had to adapt to his playbook. They had to play to his scheme. They had to listen to that offensive head coach, and it was the shit. And what happens? Then they fire him. They fire him, and then they bring North Turner and his son to run the offense, and then they start okay. They they barely start doing some things, and little by little getting used to that offense, and then now the season's over, and guess what? Now you're gonna bring another offensive coach. So when people say, "Oh, it's not a rebuild," well, no, it's not a rebuild, quote unquote. But when you bring a new head coach, when you bring his staff, when you bring their mentality, they coming in with a different mentality than what the locker room's already used to. You know what I mean? they're gonna come in there and change to their way, and that's when it becomes like a low key rebuild from the back. Unless you bring a head coach with a lot of experience, a head coach who could just come in there right away and knows the situation and smoothly transition into a team family oriented type of shit and get that chemistry going, then you never know. You know, I mean, you're talking about Pete Carroll, you're talking about Vrabel, sepa la verga how you say his name. Those type of head coaches. If you bring some young fool or some dude that just he was an offensive coach and he's gonna be a fucking head coach now, that type of shit, nah, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, oh, they're hiring this coach is gonna be his first time as a head coach. He was a offensive coordinator for I don't know that. Nah, look at Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers. The Chargers, they just didn't hire any fucking body. They got someone with experience, someone who the players are gonna respect right away, someone who's gonna go in there and be like, hey, this is not my first rodeo. Look at them now. Look at the Chargers in the playoffs. It is what it is. But why do we keep doing this? Well, Mark Davis, maybe. And this is now Tom Brady's first time going to be very involved on all the moves that are going to happen. So, what's up, Robert? So now we get to see maybe a new rebirth of the Raiders with Tom Brady involved now on the decisions that are going to be making moving forward. You know, um, and let's see. Hopefully, this is a change for better in the next coming years with the Raiders because honestly, I couldn't believe that they fired Antonio Pierce. Even though a lot of people were saying, "All right, fire him," but after a season, man, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, guys. You know, but it is what it is. You only won 4 games. Your time management on the field wasn't good. There was times where you're like, "Okay, what the hell?" And he allowed certain things to happen. You know what I mean? Like if he was able to manage that Kansas City Chief game on Black Friday when we played in Kansas City, we would have won that game no problem. But there was a lot of mistakes, a lot of time management. What I'm trying to say, you know, look at the clock, look at the time, look at certain plays, and learn how to, we wouldn't be rushing it like that last play. It was awful what happened, but look, it is what it is, guys. Antonio Pierce is no longer with the Raiders. All right, let's read some of these comments here. Well, if they already knew they were going to fire him, they better well damn sure have a good backup plan in place. Yeah, Robert, that's what I was just saying. I'm gonna be very upset if they bring some new fucking head coach, a young head coach who is barely gonna be his first year as a head coach, and the offensive coordinator of the Bengals, some shit like that. Now, I think they have to bring someone with experience, man. Alex said, "I'm glad he's gone. Tomorrow time will be from not to listen to players nor fans. Yeah. Qvo, my respect. What's up, Marvelous Minds? Um, yeah, guys. So it's just one of those things, if you're barely joining the live right now, I was talking about how I really want them to keep our defensive coach because with Patrick Graham for the last 3-4 years, he's they've grown some type of chemistry with him and they they know the scheme very well, and our defense, you could tell, has gotten good. It wasn't like we had a bad defense. Our defense was okay, and sometimes they shown signs of a top 10 defense. In reality, they hold teams back sometimes when they couldn't even score points, and now it's like you're gonna get another coach. You know what I mean? You're gonna get another coach. Buenos dias, Alex. Buenos dias. Salute, Raider Nation. Good morning. Uh, I've been a Raider fan since 1976, and I have been disgusted. I feel you, man. Tacaron, yeah. I need to catch up on the Raiders last night. Schrader was playing. Damn. Hey, Cigar Hound Dog. They should hire Adam Gase as the new head coach. Yeah, that's a good one there. Um, Good morning, F. Mark Davis. Saludos, Raider Nation. Yeah, man. Salute everyone. Thank you for joining in the live. I'm only like 11 minutes in, but I was just giving my thoughts and sharing my thoughts regarding our defensive coach. And it is what it is, guys. Switching coaches back to back all the time. I looked at a post that said that the Raiders, uh, in the last 30 years, we've had 17 head coaches. 17 head coaches in the last 30 years. Now that means we've changed head coaches every 1.7 or some shit like that. That's what it said. Years. So almost every 2 years we're changing head coaches. And that's not gonna cut it, guys. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You know that the Pittsburgh Steelers in the last 50 years, they've only had 4 head coaches. In the last 50 years, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 4 head coaches. I mean, they won Super Bowls, but they haven't like all the time, but they're a consistent winning team. They're almost all the time in the playoffs. And even when they haven't made the playoffs, they end up over 500 uh, because a there's a chemistry in that team. Love your comedy, brother. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, man. Today I have a comedy show in the city of Ontario, guys, at the Ontario Improv. So if you live in the IE, I will be in Ontario tonight. So hope to see you guys out there tonight. Um, but yeah, guys, I wanted to share this morning because I'm gonna start working shortly right now, and I don't get that much time to be on my phone as before. But I did wanted to share my thoughts regarding our defensive coach Patrick Graham, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. I mean, our season just ended. What the fuck? Today's Wednesday. Wednesday. 4 days ago on Sunday, it was over, and 3 days later, Sunday or Monday, 2 days later, boom! Breaking news: they fire the head coach. Like, why would they let him do the presser on Monday? That's the thing I don't know. I don't understand about the disrespect. You know what I mean? Like after that game on Sunday, they should have called Antonio Pierce into the office or Mark Davis went to dinner or something and they say, you know what, it's not gonna work out anymore. We're gonna move forward and just break the news that night. No, he comes in Monday, he gives a whole presser not knowing what the hell. In his mind, it's like, oh no, I'm still be the head coach. They haven't said anything, it's horrible. So I still remember the last playoff game against the Broncos. You guys almost won two. Yeah, man. Yep. Same reason he told a lot of us fans as to let's go fire back to him. Yeah. Buena suerte en todo tu trabajo, bro. Yeah, gracias, brother. Yeah, it's one of those things, guys. And just appreciate a few people that came into my life this morning. Um, it's those that live out here. We're going through a really bad situation. So prayers goes out to everyone who lives in Altadena, Silmar, Santa Monica, Palisades, Malibu, all that area. It seems of what I was hearing that a lot of these homes they're gone. Fires, like I heard restaurants and homes, a complete town, every house burned down, man. So hey, prayers to them. You know, those people are going through some really tough shit right now. And those us that, we're still here, we still have our home and all of us that have problems right now, we should look at the other side. There's other people suffering right now worse than we are, and we just gotta be happy that we're alive and then we have another day. All right. God bless everyone. And let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them throughout the day. Peace out.